What's going on, everybody? Rob here. We're going to start doing my updates on my albums that I recently purchased in the past, I'll say 3 months, since I started to go back into the vinyl, heavily into the vinyl. I listened to everything from glam, hard rock, metal, classic rock, thrash, death metal. Not much death metal anymore. There's something about the newer stuff that just doesn't do the same for me as it did back in the day. It just doesn't. There just seems to be less heart in music, and it all sounds kind of the same. And they're all trying to play as fast as they can, and throw as throaty as they can. And I just kind of lose interest in it after a song or two. I got the old bands like Dark Angel, Death Angel, bands like that, Cannibal Corpse back then, stuff like that. I still like, and some I do buy and will buy. Like I have their CDs, and I've got a couple thousand CDs as well. But I'm slowly transferring that out and going back to the vinyl, and that's what I'm going to stay until I die, because that's what I should have done to begin with. But anyway, it's gotten real dark in here. Oh well. Anyway, let's start this off. Again, I'm going to go through fairly quick on some. Some I'll show, some I won't show. Some are commons. You know the routine at this point. I mean, I'm new, so I got to talk my butt off. All right. Anyway, let's do a little cheers. It seems to be the thing going around right now. So cheers, VC. I don't even know what the hell this is. Shock Top Citrus Pearls. Yeah, it's beer. Pretty good beer. Alright guys, well, here we go. TNT Medal of Honor. It's a promo copy, as you can see up there. It's got the cutout, which I'm okay with for a good price. So, this is their best album in my opinion. As most of you know, the singer is now Mark, and we're drawing a blank. He's in Accept, and he's the vocals for them now. Talus Live Speed on Ice. I just got this yesterday, and it actually has the green combat label on it. I don't have sleeves on this yet because I ran out of MoFi sleeves and Blake sleeves at the same time. Anyway, that's from 1983. Sword, I got this yesterday as well, and it was still sealed. I didn't have the sticker, surprisingly. It's on combat as well. Oh, come on, you cut it out. It's on the camo label. Again, ran out of sleeves. That's a real good album in my opinion. Most just blow by. Poison, Flesh and Blood, which you guys seen the other day. Heaven's Edge, self-titled. You've also seen that. Striper, Soldiers on the Command. Here's an album that's recently pissed me off. Marcello, Destiny. I don't know if you know these guys, but it's a fantastic album. It's a one-off. They only did one. They had a second one that apparently was made but never released, called The Power of Money. I actually have a bootleg copy of the CD. But this album's fantastic. And you go back and think of all the vinyl you want to pick up. You're trying to remember all these bands and CDs that you have, so you kind of forget. And it popped into my head, well, I want this album on vinyl. So I got on Discogs, and I figured I'm never going to find this in the wild. So I ordered on Discogs. The guy said near mint. So it takes 4 or 5 days to get here, depending on how fast they ship. So in the meantime, I actually have another one somewhere. I went to the local shop of mine just to check out new arrivals. 2 days later, and son of a bitch, there was a copy in there as well for half the price. The good thing is, this is the good copy. This is the one I got at the store and could look at. The one I received in the mail, I wouldn't even call barely very good. But that's a chance you take when you're ordering blind, right? Next is King Cobra, Ready to Strike. Great album, great debut album as a band, period. one of my favorite 80s releases. It's showing you the vinyl because you all know what it looks like. This also I picked up the other day. It's Exodus Let There Be Blood. It's a special release. It's I don't even know how to say this. Xantez Records. It's limited number, hand numbered out of 2,500. It has the, I guess you call it blood red vinyl. Sounds really good. It's a good album. I like Exodus, so I figure for the price, a little pricey for what it was, but I wasn't going to turn it down since it's a limited release, so I picked that up. This is Metallica, the new album Hardwired. I just drew a blank on it. Self-Destruct. I already have this in the black vinyl, but this is a Record Store Day release. But they call it red, but it's red and black marbled, barely red. It looks more like a brown to me. But let's take all day doing this. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but it's almost like a brick red with black marbling in it. I was surprised it was so cheap because it was way after Record Store Day, and usually they kind of get you. Next is something I ordered from Amazon last week, and that's the 30th anniversary of Turbo. I know a lot of people hate this album. I think it's silly because everybody was doing this in the mid-late 80s, going a little poppier metal. I think it's a good album. One of my favorite pre-songs, Out in the Cold, is on this, so I'm slightly biased to that. Guardian, in my opinion, still their best album. I love Paul Crawley on vocals. Jamie Rowe was a whole different animal when he joined the band. The band got a little more bluesy, in my opinion, a little blues thrown in there, which ain't bad. It's just two different bands, in my opinion. It's on Enigma. This was still sealed, so it was virgin vinyl. I've been really lucky with the sealed vinyls lately, shockingly. Dweezil Zappa, Having a Bad Day. I don't know if you guys know, most of you know, but Dweezil Zappa is an amazing guitarist. And yeah, he has his brother, his sister on all of his albums pretty much, but it's a really good album. Confessions is his best album in my opinion. They got better as they went along, like until, there was Having a Bad Day, My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama, which is a fantastic album, and then Confessions. I love Confessions the most. After that, he started getting more into the instrumental stuff, which I love, but his is a little funky instrumental stuff. Kind of like his father back in the day. I got this yesterday as well, which I was surprised to find used at all here. It's a German company, record company, AMF. And it's Olivia, Raise the Curtain. It's last written songs by John Olivia and Chris Olivia of Sabotage fame. His brother did the album, all the songs the last ones they wrote together. It's pretty cool. It's a double LP. This one I'm going to have to show you guys. It's got the one black and one red vinyl. And it's a really nice cover. I mean, I love the cover. That would be a cool piece of artwork. And I've always liked the Streets Chris guitar with the roses on it. It's on the back of that CD2 album as well. And it has, all the songs in the gatefold. And the back. I haven't got a chance to listen to it. I came across it. I honestly didn't know about it. And I'm like a huge Sabotage fan. So yeah, that was a good find for, I think, like $12. And then Judas Priest Live. One of my favorite all-time live albums. Out in the Cold on this is phenomenal. And I think Halford's voice at this point was just peak. And everything on this album was just fantastic. And I'm not a big, live album person. Although some of my favorite albums seem to be live albums. And there's the other Marcello I was telling you guys about. It's in decent shape. I'd say very good for the age. It just, I'm a little bit picky. So corners and you know, like a little bit of edge wear kind of bothers me a bit. And this is a promo copy as well. Oops, excuse me, beer's getting to me. Great album. I mean, great album. I mean, if anybody wants this, give me a yell and I will send it to you. I like to try to keep it in the States because it's hard to get this, you know, it's expensive to ship out. But I mean, if somebody wants it, I'll be glad to send it to you. Widow, Gone Too Far. Now this is an odd album. It came out on another record label, and then it was picked up by CBS Associates a year later. It looks metal. And in the back it's a little bit not hair metal. I mean metal. It's not even hair metal. It's more like hard rock. Early hard rock. It's a good album. I mean, there's a song on here, Bitch and The Stand, that are really good. The rest of the album's okay. I literally bought this thing for those two songs because I remember them. But Widow, Gone Too Far. Here, you guys know this one, Scorpion Savage Amusement. This thing is an amazing shape. Has a little bit of ring wear at the top. That's the only mark on this. Corners are pretty sharp. And, you know, got the little rounding, of course they all do. And it has the original insert and all. It's really cool. Bright pink insert. Quiet Riot 3. I know a lot of people kind of shit on Quiet Riot after their first album, which I don't understand. I never thought much of Kevin DuBrow as a singer. Yeah, it fit the music, it fit the time, but as a singer, he was good, you know. I actually like this album the best for his vocals. Out of everything, and Twilight Hotel on here was really good by him. I actually like the one after this with Paul Shortino on vocals, and I know a lot of people are like, what? But that's the one I like the most. Wasp, Last Command. I found this 2 weeks ago, and it was still sealed. It's got the Wasp custom label, I guess you would call it. It's mint. I mean, near mint. Nothing's mint. It's near mint. It has a bit of a crease there, but I mean that's near mint. It was still sealed. First time opened in 30 years. Here's another one that's still sealed. I got this right. Kiss, Crazy Nights. And this is one of the bands that everybody loves. That I like, but I don't get the hype, and I'm sure people are going to be angry over that, but it's just my opinion. They have some really good songs that I like, and most of it's just generic to me. And I kind of go through waves with them, like, you know, I like the older stuff, and then a little bit of the newer stuff, and then the mid-'80s stuff kind of got out of hand. This is not their best album by far. I mean, it was new. It was, you know, had everything on it. Everything. It was still sealed. So, you know, and I keep all the hype stickers and put them inside and stuff like that too. Oh, now I got a bunch more over here. Bear with me, guys. Scorpions, Worldwide Live. I think I got this for like $7 at Half Price Books. I have a friend who works there. And needless to say, I get about 50% off. I don't have a whole lot, you know, that I usually want because it's kind of stuff. But the last time I went there, I found about 8 albums. It should have been about $130. It literally cost me $60. Alright, and I got a bunch of these, and these are going to be kind of cool. In This Moment, a Star-Crossed Wasteland. Now, they re-released these, well, they didn't re-release them. They subbed them out to a company called War God Records. And they did 2 albums so far. They did this one and the one I'm forgetting. But they did 3 different kinds. They did it. I mean, it's a nice little gate. No, it's not a gatefold. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. No. It's just the back and the cover. But they did the vinyls really cool. I mean, I like colored vinyl. I don't think there's really any difference in the sound. It's been proven that there isn't. But I mean, look at that. That's badass. Okay, here you are. That's cool. And it's got, you know, custom labels of sorts. That's one. Here's the second one, which is probably my favorite looking one. It's like a bronze and white mix. Just bear with me here. I mean, that's pretty badass in my opinion. But they do a really good job. They're seriously limited. I think this one's out of... I think the black and white one's out of 300. This one's out of 700. And this one is also a record store day one, which they failed to tell me when I bought the 3 record set, because I already had the record day one. But this one is a record day one, and this is the black and blue translucent, or blue and black, whatever you want to call it. But I have 2 of these, and it's record store day. I got all the, the hype stickers inside. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. Alien, good, AOR, hard rock in a way. It gets pretty chunky sometimes. Peter Sandberg sung on this one, and that was my favorite album of theirs. I pretty much won't buy their other stuff because I didn't like the other vocalists, but I like them on this album. And reminds me of my mom. My mom loved the song that's on here, "Tears Don't Put Out the Fire." So we all got that sentimental shit. Striper, not the band cover, which I'm a huge Striper fan. Y'all know what this looks like inside. It's all the same on Enigma. I've got the other one too. Tough Luck, which is a killer album for me. It's indie, cult, kind of 87 hair metal. It stuck with me through my whole life. I love this album. It's kind of one of the ones I'm proud to own. And when I got it, I was like a kid in a candy store. I opened it up and you just swore I was busting into some Legos at 8 years old. This one I've shown in my contest video for Andy. This is Malmsteen, Alchemy. And let me show you the inside. It's got a huge poster with it too. But the inside, the gatefold lyrics. I'm not going to pull out the poster, but the poster is this, basically. And it's probably double the size. It's really cool. And that's my favorite guitarist, period. I'm not a big instrumental person, but there's a few guys like Jason Becker, Vinnie Moore, Malmsteen, that I can listen to all day long. I don't know what it is about them, but Doc, my favorite band, Doc and Tooth and Nail. Everybody knows what that is. Come on, get up here. Witherfall, which I put in Andy's video as well. This album I cannot stop listening to. And the only reason it's in here is because I can show you guys. But it's an indie release. This is the black vinyl one. They actually had a limited clear vinyl one, which I'm pissed off I didn't know about. But I'll get that sucker eventually. The only downside is when it was shipped, it's got a little tear at the thing, but I'm okay. That's new. I'll get another one too. But a phenomenal album. Sabotage, Crimson Glory. Sabotage with Zach Stevens is what you think of. And a little bit of Crimson Glory. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's 2017 release. This will be a top 10. It might even be 1, 2, or 3, in my opinion. It's a killer album. It's called Witherfall, Nocturnes, and Requiem. Really look it up. I've actually got promos for these guys if you guys want CDs. It's a 1 or 2 song promo. I kind of street theme for them here in Kansas City, so I can send you that. I can send you some buttons, whatever. Look them up on YouTube. I'm telling you, if you're symphonic, metal, hard rock, Sabotage, Crimson Glory fan, you will love this album. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. This is a remastered one, reissued, 180 gram, all that good crap. Cold Sweat. Another favorite of mine. This coming out, I think it was 90, right? Because 90, 91, 90. Yeah, 90. Cold Sweat and Mark Ferrari from Keel. He started this band. Rory, the singer, I can't remember his name around here, but Rory Catherine or something like that. I don't want to look at it right now. But this album is blues, hair metal, hard rock, It's great album. I mean, in the 90, 91, 92, hair metal was starting to come out, but they still, some really good bands came in with a little bit of blues to them, and that's just one of these bands. They do a killer version of Foghat's I Want to Make Love to You. I Just Want to Make Love to You. It's a great album. If you can find it, pick it up. I guarantee you like it. If you're a hard rock fan, blues fan, you'll love this album. And it's just on normal MCA records. I got this. This was also, no, it wasn't new because the sticker's on. This is a promo. I'm sorry. This is a promo, but it's in excellent condition. Another one of my favorite older bands, Hitman. Another debut album that is phenomenal. Heavy melodic voice with some heavy guitars in between metal and hard metal, I guess you would call it. It's from '88. Yeah, '88 on Steamhammer. Great, I mean, it's just a great album. And they also do a killer cover of Secret Agent Man, which I never liked the song to begin with, but this album made me like it. This is another album I would say is a must-have if you're a hair, hard rock, metal fan. Genres. It's good music. This is a band. This is more hard. This is more rock oriented. Dorothy, and this is just their EP before they released their second album, which I have no idea what it is, but it's on red vinyl, translucent vinyl, and I can't describe it. They're like a 70s rock band with female vocals. You gotta look them up. I mean, they've been on a lot of video games and music. Missile, Shelter Me is a great song. Just look them up on YouTube. You can look up Dorothy, Rock is Dead. That'll be their main album. Give it a listen if you like rock, 70s oriented rock musically, and killer vocals. She's got a really good soulful voice. I guess that's a way to put it. Speaking of Vinnie Moore, Mind's Eye, and that's on the silver shrapnel label. It's one of the guitars I was just telling you about that I can listen to all day long. There's actually, I think, no, I can't remember the vocals on that one. Whoa, losing albums all over the place here. I got too many. Keel, Right to Rock. They actually had the Final Frontier at the same store, but it was scratched to hell. The cover was in good shape, and I probably should have bought it for that, because that album's hard to come by, just sitting around. So, Keel, Right to Rock, from that Gold Mountain, which I think is MCA or RCA. Hell, it doesn't matter. You guys know. Bon Jovi's first album. Now, this is a killer album. Before New Jersey, even Slippery When Wet, they put out 2 albums. This one and the funky one, which I think is next, is 7800 Fahrenheit. This album is a killer hard rock, bordering on a little bit of metal album. And if people say they don't like this, you gotta be bullshitting or you haven't listened to it. It's a good freaking album. Especially for the time, that's a good album. And, life did happen before Slippery When Wet, people. Yeah, there it goes. 7800 Fahrenheit. This is a good rock album, hard rock album with a little funky. Every time I hear it, it just reminds me of Buck Rogers for you guys of age. For some reason, I get that in my head when remember Twiggy dancing? That's what I think of when I hear that album. And I think the last one for now, I'm going to go with Icon. This is their self-titled, right? Yeah, self-titled. I think my lights are getting dark in here. The Capitol on the green label. Their best album, in my opinion. This album and their follow-up album, I'm really all over the place tonight, are really good, and they have the same singer. Again, can't think of his name right now. They switched on their third album, and it became a whole different animal too. That's the one thing I don't like, is when bands switch and then people try to compare them. It's a different band at that point. a singer is such a key part of a group. It's like when Motley Crue, Vince Neil left for one album and Karabi came in. That was a whole different animal. And you can't compare it to the band it used to be. Kind of like Great White right now with the guy from XYZ, Terry Elios, and Jack Russell. They're both using the Great White name. Neither one is Great White. You can't have Mark Kendall's tone and sound without Jack Russell's vocals. I say you just kill the name and start your own bands. Real fans will follow both of you either way. You know what I mean? Because Elias can sing. He's a great singer. He's more of the rock singer than Russell is. Russell's more the bluesy singer. But it's two different animals. Anyway, there's my rant for now. And I'm going to cut this off here. I got a crap load more. It looks like I'm probably going to have to do this in 3 parts. But thank you for watching. Listen to me ramble. And I will be back soon. And maybe good news or bad news. Everyone have a good night.